The 2018 season started off with mostly familiar faces. The core team was all back from the past 2 seasons, but they were hungry to improve after 2 straight years of first-round playoff exits. There were also some new faces. Dan Hughes was in as head coach, and he immediately set to work instilling a defensive mindset.
Realizing we haven't had a winning season since 2011, and analyzing what can we do to put us in a situation to stair-step, to become a winner, to become a playoff advancer, to become a champion. To me, it started with defense and rebounding to add to the package that we had. We have to expand our thought of defense into possession. Possession is when we got it done, okay?
Natasha Howard was another new addition, coming over from the defending champion Minnesota Lynx.
She's a big, but she also has mobility. And it allows us to do some of the schemes that we want to do, the aggressive nature we'd like to defend with.
Natasha made her presence known immediately, scoring 14 points on opening night, and soon securing her place in the starting lineup.
When she first came to the team, it's like, you don't know how it's going to work out. You know, this was this player that you knew she had championship experience, with Minnesota, but you also knew it was in a limited role. So, how do you know what's going to happen? And then the minute she got here, you could tell right away. Such a difference maker.
Like in 2017, the Storm got off to a fast start behind some hot shooting from Jewel Lloyd, who posted back-to-back 29-point games in the second and third games of the season. On June 16th, the Storm would face the number 1 ranked Connecticut Sun in the biggest test yet for the 7-3 Storm.
And Seattle has got a huge statement win over the number 1 record in the WNBA.
Connecticut has proven that they're one of the best teams in the league, and so have we at this point.
The Storm would continue their hot streak, and by the All-Star break, they had the best record in the league.
This year just felt different. It felt special. The players that came along, they were just special players. So I think we kind of knew something was going on, but we weren't so caught up on, we got to win a championship, we got to win a championship. It really was just, we want to grow as better people, better players.
I think what made this season so unique was that, nobody really expected this of us. And I don't even know that we expected it of ourselves. We just kind of went through the season and took it one game at a time and kind of figuring things out. And, before we knew it, it was All-Star break and we were number 1 in the league. And like, how did this happen? But it kind of, in some ways, it allowed us to grow into what we ended up being at the end. And it was great not to have those expectations.
Coming out of the All-Star break, all eyes were on Seattle. After a home-heavy start to the season, the second half would include some brutal road trips. A key matchup would come August 12th, when the Storm would take on the defending champion Minnesota Lynx.
We were on a little bit of a tough road trip, a couple games in a couple days, and we had just lost a bad one to Washington, and we roll up to Minnesota, and we're in a situation where Atlanta was starting to catch up. And so it was a pretty big game, and we hadn't won in Minnesota in 8 years. So we haven't won in Minnesota, it's Minnesota, and it's a pretty important game as far as playoff implications go. And we just, we had a calm about us. We walked into the gym, it was a seesaw game back and forth. We had control for a little bit, and then boom, fourth quarter, it started with Stewie hitting a bunch of threes. We all chimed in with that, and then the game was over. And there was just something about our composure where I thought, we might actually be able to pull this off. And that was kind of the moment for me where I was like, all right, we got to get ready for this playoff run. This could be special.
As they gained momentum, it was obvious this team was having fun, enjoying every second of their successful run.
Yeah, the handshakes. Usually every time we shoot free throws, we go around, everyone has a handshake, and it kind of just created itself on its own, really. And then it was like, it became a thing. We're like, okay, we got to think of some different stuff and fun stuff to do. It was what we do. It made it a lot of fun. I made warm-ups a lot of fun for sure. So Kay always does some crazy try to between the legs whatever, and so it honestly just started with us, where we were hyping her up, kind of thing, because she was just over there. She was she would do it, so then we all just kind of did it. So Kalina, that's her moment to shine, and we try to motivate her to get up and touch that rim. And it was actually really funny that the crowd started getting into it and doing it with us. It was, again, that's just the connection, again, just with our fans.
The Storm would cap the season with a win over Dallas, giving them a 26-8 record and the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. Breanna Stewart's 15 points were enough to give her the new single-season scoring record in franchise history, with 742 points. It was all just a precursor to the accolades that would soon follow for Breanna. As the playoffs got underway, the league announced what we in Seattle already knew, that Breanna Stewart was the league's most valuable player.
MVP!
What else do you say about Stewie? You know, she had an unbelievable season. I mean, just so proud of her, her growth this year, her mentality. It was amazing to watch. I'm glad I had a front row seat for it.
It all made for an unforgettable and record-setting regular season for the Storm.